BBC News with Sue Montgomery. Ukraine, Britain, Sweden and Canada have started legal action against Iran over the accidental shooting down of a Ukrainian airliner near Tehran last year. They all had citizens on board. Alan Johnston reports.
The countries bringing this legal action are demanding that Iran officially takes responsibility for what happened. They also want compensation for the families of the more than 170 victims. A final Iranian report on the incident was harshly criticised. The Canadians said it lacked hard facts. The plane was mistakenly shot down by an Iranian air defence battery as it took off from Tehran airport. This happened on a night when there was a state of very high tension between Iran and US forces based in neighbouring Iraq.
President Biden has announced that the US will donate 19 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines to COVAX, the global facility designed to distribute vaccines fairly. He said another 6 million will go directly to countries such as Canada and India. The plan covers around a third of 80 million doses the US has said it will share. The WHO's Africa Regional Director, Dr. Matshidiso Moeti, welcomed Mr. Biden's announcement.
It is charity, it's solidarity, it's also very wise self-interest, because the more people who remain unvaccinated around the world, including in Africa, the virus will mutate. Variants will emerge that may be able to resist these very vaccines, and more investment will have to be done in adjusting the vaccines. So it is in the interest of wealthy countries to share the vaccines.
France says it has suspended joint military operations with Mali due to the uncertainty created by last month's coup in the West African country. Here's David Bamford.
The French Armed Forces Ministry said the suspension would continue until it received guarantees over the framework for a return of civilians to positions of power in Mali. French troops have been supporting forces from 5 countries of the Sahel, including Mali, in their battle against Islamist militants since 2013. So far, the army chiefs who staged the country's second coup in the space of 9 months show no sign of compromising on the matter. The transitional military government says its leader, Colonel Assimi Goïta, will be invested as acting president on Monday.
The UN Security Council has heard that an old, decaying oil tanker moored off the coast of Yemen is threatening an environmental and humanitarian catastrophe of vast proportions. Houthi rebels controlling the area have not allowed the UN access. An expert said a spill or explosion would devastate entire ecosystems in the Red Sea. World News from the BBC. There are reports of fresh clashes on the border between the Central African Republic and Chad. The clashes come just days after 6 Chadians and 3 Russians were killed in fighting at a border post. For the past few years, Russia has sent soldiers to assist the CAR's military, but it's rare for Moscow to confirm its involvement in the fighting. A court in Pakistan is reported to have overturned a death sentence handed down to a Christian couple for blasphemy and ordered their release. Shagufta Kausar and her husband, Shafkat Emmanuel, were convicted in 2014 of insulting the Prophet Muhammad. But on Thursday, the couple's lawyer said the Lahore High Court had acquitted them, citing a lack of evidence. The UN has expressed concern about the arrest of a prominent Nicaraguan opposition politician and newspaper editor, Cristiana Chamorro. She was placed under house arrest on Wednesday and banned from running in November's presidential election. A UN spokesman said that the latest developments could lower confidence in the fairness of the electoral process. The Council of Europe is calling on Slovenia's authorities to address what it sees as a deterioration of media freedom in the country. This report from our Balkans correspondent Guy Deloney.
The Council of Europe's Human Rights Commissioner, Dunja Mijatovic, asks Slovenia's government to diminish the level of animosity against the press. She also says the authorities have used the COVID-19 pandemic to discourage the free expression of dissent or political opposition. Her report follows months of tension between Slovenia's government and public service media. Prime Minister Janez Janša has regularly criticised individual journalists, as well as the news agency STA and broadcaster RTV. STA resorted to a crowdfunding campaign to cover its expenses after the government froze its payments.
BBC News.